All right. It says that we're live. All right, guys, welcome back. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Been Mondays, Tuesdays. It's been a while since we did one of these. And today I just got a couple of things I want to get across. Just kind of give you guys an update of what's been going on with the channel. If you guys haven't noticed, if it's the first time you come on the channel, my name is Kong. This is Out of Work Outdoors. And we've been doing this YouTube channel thing for a little bit. We're not really making much money at this whole thing, but we do have a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of things that we've done in the past that have won us tournaments, that have pretty much almost guaranteed a good day of fishing on the water. So a lot of people have been asking, you guys need to come up with lures, you guys got to do this, you guys got to do that, you got to do this, do that, do this, that. And eventually we broke down and said, look, we weren't decided as to what we wanted to do. So we're just gonna do something and see how you guys like it. So we ended up coming out with an umbrella rig. Some people call it an Alabama rig. Technically, it's not the same thing, but people. So we decided to come up with an umbrella rig. If you guys don't know what it is, we actually developed an entire company on the side to manufacture it. It's still us, but at the same time, we wanted that company over here and Out of Work Outdoors over here. So that company network we've come up with, we've named it Tornado Innovations. This is probably the first official introduction to it that we're going to be talking about it just for a little bit now, because as the title says, we're going to be preparing for a tournament. So this is the stuff I just want to give to my subscribers for to keep them in the loop and see what's going on. So that company creates very cool umbrella rigs, very clear. I don't have one in front of me, but I should. But I don't. If you're curious, go to tornadoinnovation.com and you can see what the buzz is all about, basically. And also on our Instagram page, if you really want to just look real quick and dirty, it's a good place to go. We've also come out with a clear double rig for the high-end guys that are just throwing nothing but swim baits. Big DRT clashes. We just released that a week ago. The products are very top notch. Okay, they are built out of very high quality fluorocarbon. Nothing cheap. Everything is legit. Just kind of like all of our equipment. Most of the equipment we use have been filtered. A lot of it has gone through a lot of circles, and we now pretty much run average gear to high-end gear, as you'll see here in a little bit. Some of the gear I am prepping for the tournament tomorrow. We're going in blind. We're not going to be practicing, nothing. Just a lot of this is based off old knowledge, and you'll hear me talk about it. They're kind of over there. And in the background, this is kind of the office. This has been deemed the office now. We've got a bunch of tackle, as you can see. Lots of tackle. I got tackle here also. Everything from swim baits to lures that have busted open. Some of our favorites here. And flies. Striper flies. That's a cool one. So we got a little bit of everything. I actually wanted to introduce this too for the guys that are really, really into the channel. We announced this a while back, but as I said, we were never sure if anybody wanted to buy this. We've gotten a lot of requests for this, by the way. And you can even say we're pretty late to the show, as we usually are. Try to get that situated. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. I've been working on this for a little bit now. A lot of guys have been asking, where do you buy this? Where do you buy that? You watch a lot of our striper videos where we're slinging baits at least 100 yards. Okay, 100, 125 yards, 130, 140 on a good day with the wind behind your back. So we get a lot of questions about this, right? And we actually can't provide you with an answer because a lot of the things we do, they're very custom. Custom by what I'm saying by custom is you can't get it at the stores. The lure manufacturers won't build them for you because it costs too much for them to build it. And don't get me wrong, it costs a lot for us to build it too. But a lot of people have been wanting it. So I said, look, we'll do a trial run. We'll see if they like it. And this is your introduction for your chance to kind of get one. Now, granted, these are going to be lower in price just because this is the first batch ever. Okay, so the quality is not as good as what they need to be. All right, so what I mean by that is a lot of guys be watching our channel and they are saying, how do I get that lure? And I could point you to the lure. That's not the problem. The problem is the lure I'm going to point you to is not going to perform as good as the lure that I've modified. Okay, so the one I've modified is going to perform much, much better. And if I point you to one, you're going to buy it and just throw it out of the package, and you're going to say, that doesn't work right. How come I can't cast 100 yards on this one? It's because it's not modified. It's not, the proper gear is not on it. All right. So in this case, we're going to pretty much let you guys decide if this product is going to survive or not. The three of us talked this over quite a bit, and the three of us know exactly what we want when it comes to a topwater plug. When it comes to hooks, when it comes to the weights, when it comes to the looks, when it comes to what profile you should be throwing. We've pretty much, this is like 5 years of tried and true kind of testing. And we've been wanting to build this. It's just, we couldn't find the market for it. So you guys are going to be our test market basically to see if we're going to build these in the future or not. So depending on how well these sell, we may or may not build them. But regardless, I'm going to tell you the secrets tonight, so you can go build them yourselves if you want to. All right. Give you guys a full price breakdown on one of these things. It's not hard to build these yourselves. It's a matter of, can you build it, and are you willing to build it? So in Oklahoma, there's really one lure. If you had to pick one to chase stripers and hybrids, it's this one. This one can do everything. And yes, it's a little on the small side or it's a little bit on the big side, depending on where you're at. But if you only had to pick one, this is the right size. This is, I think it's right at 5 1/4 inches. 5 1/4 inches is where it's at. I should have my little measuring stick here, but I don't know where it's at. A 5 inch topwater plug is ideal for Oklahoma. It works everywhere in Oklahoma, okay? Because a lot of places that we fish, they don't have a lot of big bait. Like we don't have trout for the most part. 95% of the fisheries in Oklahoma, they don't have trout. They don't have the big gizzard shats. They don't have the big baits, the big herring type baits. So for us, a lot of it's threadfin. Threadfin is probably the number one bait that we have. Arkansas rivers dominated by threadfins. Keystone Lake threadfins. Skytook threadfins. All these other lakes are threadfins. So what we do is this is one of my favorite profiles, okay? This is the Ima shower blows. No, Ima, Evergreen. This is the Evergreen. It's a Japanese lure. At least the look of it is a Japanese lure. It is a knockoff, okay? This is not the actual one. And the reason for that is the actual Evergreen shower blows is roughly $20, okay? And it doesn't do what you need it to do. For the most part, most of our viewers are looking at this and they say, look, I'm fishing dams or I'm on the bank. And this is specifically for you guys. The guys that are on the banks and the guys that are fishing dams. You want a topwater, especially right now. It's hot from now until probably November. They'll be hitting topwater. And you guys are going to want to throw as far as you can, or at least have the capability to throw as far as you can. Now, this lure is in the category of a pencil popper, okay? And a 5-inch pencil popper weighs a little less than an ounce. For the most part, they weigh a little less than an ounce. But you're not casting 100 yards with a pencil popper that is not loaded. And that's what a lot of people get lost on, is when they say loaded. How do you load a lure? We actually have an entire video showing you guys how to do this, okay? So for the most part, you're going to drill a hole in your bait, and you'll load it up with some BBs, and you're going to just seal it, okay? Now, just about everybody can do that. But when you have to go buy a $10 bait, for the most part, $10 bait, this is another good one. This is called an I'm a Little stick, right? Of course, I whipped it out so far and it hit the dam and it broke. Okay? That's bound to happen when you have something that's heavy flying at 60 miles an hour, probably faster than 60, and it slams right into the cement. It's bound to happen. Okay? So what we've done is we've bought the knockoff, which is an exact replica of the shower blows. So all these names I'm throwing at you, just know they're all pencil poppers, right? But I like the profile of this one a lot better. It's a little slimmer, and I think it'll sail through the wind a lot better. But that's not the only thing, is to weight it. You got to make sure the weight is more towards the end and not evenly balanced, okay? The more toward the ends it is, the better it will fly through the air. The other thing is, if you look at it, the hardware has to be good too. So the hardware, let me show you this other one. There's actually 3 sets of hardwares here. Yeah, so the hardware is what makes it expansive, is what makes it or breaks the bank for me, okay? Because a lot of the lures you buy, doesn't matter if you get it from Bass Pro, Cabela's, or online, anything in this size, anything in the 5-inch size, really wasn't designed for stripers. So we have a gap in the lure industry when it comes to Oklahoma stripers, freshwater stripers for that matter. Because our freshwater stripers, they don't get that big. I mean, quite honestly, like a 30-inch striper in freshwater is a good size. 30-inch striper in the salt ain't nothing to brag about, okay? So what we've been doing for years, and we say this in the videos too, but I don't know if people aren't really picking up on it, is we always upgrade the split rings, all 3 split rings. We always upgrade them, and we always upgrade the treble hooks. These are the size 4s. Yeah, these are size 4s. Size 4 is the biggest you can go on these, on this size. There's 3 of them, and they're Gamakatsu size 4s, like I said, but they are the 2X strong. You have to get the 2X strong. I know the camera's flipping it, but it's 2X strong. Okay, if you're not on 2X strong, and even on 2X strong, we still bend them on the big ones. Okay, so if you're playing with the whole world of stripers and hybrids, 2X strong hooks minimum. Okay, so that's something that I don't know, people just don't get through. And on top of that, it's tournament grade hardware. Tournament grade hardware tends to be, 1, a lot sharper, and 2, they don't fail as much. They're designed for the guys that are enthusiasts, the guys that are real serious about fishing. So that's one. That's one set of hooks. And this is the other set of hooks that I'm currently playing with. This is the VMC hybrid hooks. It's not as sharp, but the metal thickness on the hook is a lot thicker than the Gamakatsus. And I like the shape of the hook. The hook shape is a little bit better, in my opinion, in terms of holding fish. Because I've seen a lot of very expensive brands kind of get this bend in it, where this is a very traditional bend. You can kind of look at that. See those 2 bends? Straight bend. This one's got more of a rounded bend. It bends, and it bends a little bit back. The hook points actually gnarl in a little bit. But those are the treble hooks, okay? And then obviously, you guys see this too. the single hooks. So what you do, this one's actually heavier than the trebles, but the singles, you actually have a massive single hook right here, and another massive single hook in the back. And what this does is when you hook a fish, you could power them a lot more. That's number one. Number two is when you get the fish to shore and you're trying to handle this fish, there's a lot less hook points to catch you in the hands, a lot less. And if you have a net, it's a lot easier to play with too, because the treble hooks don't get stuck in the net. Okay, so these are probably the two most popular things that we do, but we don't hear a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people will buy lure, they'll backfill it, and still run the stock hardware, which I don't like. Everything in that less than 6-inch range, I actually don't like the hardware that comes with the baits. So the hardware that comes with the bait, no matter how good it is, no matter what company it comes from, Megabass, Dual Realis, doesn't matter. Evergreen, it doesn't matter. They're designed for largemouth bass. They're not designed for stripers. So, for first thing we do is we buy those lures. They might be $9-10 lures. We throw away all the hooks, throw away most of the split rings, and you put our own split rings. And we oversize the split rings. And sometimes, like in this case, you have to keep that same size hook. You got to make them 2x strong. But in this case, I've actually dropped the hook up to the hook size, not drop it up to the numbers of size 3. This is stock size 4. This is up to size 3, which I feel like is going to be a lot better. So that's what we've been working on. In terms of weights, you can see them right here. I've actually labeled all these. 1.5 ounce. You can see that. Oh, it's all backwards, but how about that? Still backwards. YouTube has YouTube has flipped everything. So 1.5 and 2 ounce. Let me explain the reason for having the 2. The 1.5 is for all the guys that don't have a long casting setup. The guys that have the traditional 7-foot and the traditional 7.5, maybe even an 8-foot rod, where that rod was never designed to whip something extremely far. All the guys that don't have surf rods, this is the one for you, okay? Because I don't think your rod's gonna like a 2 ounce. A 2 ounce is overkill. And on top of that, this one once it goes out and hits the water, it doesn't sink as fast. So it's easier to keep it on the water. That's the flip side. And this one is gonna come in for that 60 to 85 feet or 85 yards. That's where your 1.5 comes in. And this is probably the one we use the most, to be honest. The most. We use this one the most. When do we use the full 2 ounce? The full 2 ounce is used when the 1.5 can't do it, and you have to reach maximum range. You're on a surf rod, you're going maximum range, 100 yards, 120, 130, sometimes even 150 yards. I've seen hybrid cast 150 yards. And if you don't believe me, you're just going to have to at this point. Because you know how when you buy a 150-yard spool and you spool it onto your reel, I've seen him whip it, and that actually leaves the spool of his rod. Of course, he's got a 13-footer. It's a ballistic, and he's got a Dawa Bazia. Yeah, I think it's Bazia. That setup is designed for a maximum cast. So if he throws this on it, it's gone. But the downside of this is once it hits the water, it's hard to keep it on the surface. You have to work it extremely fast to keep it on the surface. And that's kind of your trade-off. The ones that are not drilled and plugged up, or added weight to it, they will stay on the surface when you stop reeling. But you're only going to get 50, 60 yards max, right? The ones that are loaded, 1.5, 2, these will sink. But the thing is, they will get you the distance. So there's that big trade-off for what do you want to do? Are the fish biting real slow? If they're biting real slow, then you're probably not going to want one of these. These will actually go underwater. But if they're 100 yards out and you have to get to them, otherwise you're not going to get a single bite that day, you have no choice. You have no choice. You have to throw this. A lot of times you'll see us at the dams and we're whipping it. Well, at least I say we, but my brother, 47, he whips it. He goes, it goes far. It goes far, and then on the drop, basically, they will smoke this. And that's why we have this one. That's even why this one exists. Is this the farthest casting one? No, there are other combinations that will go farther, for sure. But if you had one lure and you're just like, I just want to carry one, and if it's beyond 140, then I'm good. I'm not gonna throw anything else. Then this is a good option. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you guys want some of these. Like I said, the, the lure blank itself is about $2, but after work and all the hardware involved, it's about $10. It's about $10 to do. It's even got the realistic eyes on there too. So we didn't even go cheap. We actually put the real eyes on there, the actual shower blows eyes. So it cost me about $10 to build. To be honest, it's about $10 after labor and everything. But these did not come out that good. Did not come out as good as I hoped they were going to be, cosmetic wise. Okay, so when I say that is like, see how this one's kind of smooth all around, and I got one that's got a bunch of overspray on it. Here we go. This one has got too much paint on it, and now it's kind of textured. Will that hurt the action of the bait? Not at all. Not at all. Everything is just paint issues, okay? Because this is the first batch. And quite honestly, this is how all of our tackles look, okay? They all look just like this. All right? So let me know in the comments if you guys want to buy one, and I'll reach out to you. Or private messages, DM us, say you want to buy one. So I'm only going to charge you about $10 for this, and then it's going to be another $5 to ship it anywhere in the 48 states. So you're looking at $15 complete. All right. So if you want one, let me know. Like I said, these are kind of like the first batch. I have 100% confidence that it'll catch fish. It just doesn't look pretty. So if we ever come out with these later, these are going to go up in price. They'll be at least $20. Okay. So let me know. Comes fully rigged with hardware. The other thing I wanted you guys to see was, actually, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Other than that, I'm just going to start rigging some rods. You guys can follow me along. So I know some of these guys are striper fishermen. Some of you guys are bass fishermen. Some of you guys are kayak fishermen. But you'll see my kind of thought process as I go through what I like to prepare. Okay, so tomorrow it starts with a lake, right? Tomorrow the Tulsa Bassathone guys they're hosting a tournament, and we haven't been doing good in tournaments. We've been so focused on our other Tornado Innovations channel, Tornado Innovations company, that we've been kind of a little sidetracked. So we still do the Tuesday nights if it comes to a lake that we really like. So tomorrow they're going to be at the W.R. Holloway Lake, or some people call it Chimney Rock. Some people call it Pumpback. What it is a really, really deep, rocky lake. Water is typically fairly clear to staying. You're talking water visibilities between, say, 3 foot to 7 foot. That's kind of where that lake is at. It's super deep. The walls are always 45-degree angles, and the water goes up and down. So it's one of those lakes where, like, there's no vegetation. The lake is pumped up and down 10 feet every day. So there is no vegetation on the shoreline. There might be some, say, structure, but even that's kind of rare. So it's a good run and gun lake. That's kind of what I'm good at. It's a good lake for you to go and just continue to run, continue to do the things you like to do. It really rewards power fishermen. Run until you find them, then milk a spot, run again, and hopefully you run into them. If you don't run into them, don't worry about it. And it's one of those lakes where you can't practice for, because every time I've practiced for it, I've actually done worse. Okay, so it's one of them lakes where you gotta fish by the seat of your pants, trust your gut, and you just go for it. With that being said, I have done really well on that lake. I've also done really bad on that lake. I've never won on it. I've placed in the money a couple of times, but I've never won. Okay, so we are going to try to win tomorrow. Okay, let me know if the chat is working. All right, let me know if the chat's working because I don't see anybody typing. If you have any questions, also post some questions. I'll try to answer them as much as I can while I'm doing this. But it's probably going to be a 2-hour show. I don't know. Just basically, you guys watching me rig my rods and see what I go through. So when I think of that lake, there's two things that I think of. It's either top water or you're cranking the bottom or you're dragging the jig. Aggressive too. So for me, the only times I've ever done good on that lake is top water. I've thrown swim baits on that lake before, and I throw jigs. My best shot at winning was throwing the jig. So every time I go back, I always have a jig rigged up, like a finesse jig. Always start with finesse jig, and then eventually, if I feel like I'm going to win, then I go to full size. But for the most part, I throw a finesse jig. And I'll show you guys. And I'm showing you guys everything that I throw too. All right, chat's working. Okay, that's good. All right, so on that lake, I like a simple. There you go. Most damage I've ever done on that lake right there. This is a simple green pumpkin, 3/8 green pumpkin on green pumpkin jig. Keep it that simple. The idea is to cover water. The idea is to cover water. And make sure the hook is sharp. That hook is not sharp. So what I do is I carry a hook sharpener. If my brother gives it back to me. Here it is. Hook sharpener from Rapala. It's the best one I've ever found. The only one I ever use. So we're just going to sharpen the hook a little bit. I don't know if I can sharpen this thing back up. It's a little rusted. Not bad. Not bad. So, all right. Much better. Still not sharp. I'm not a big jig fisherman by any chance, but like I said, on that lake, all right, that's pretty sharp. On that lake, the closest I've ever come to winning was on a jig. So I always throw a jig on that lake. When it comes to rod and reels, for my jig, I got this sucker. Some people say it's too nice, and I agree, it is too nice. We're gonna rig up eight setups. Yeah, 8 setups today. So for me, and this is something that some people are gonna hate me for, but it is what it is. I got a real good deal on it, so I bought it. This is my jig setup. I've won a lot of money on this jig setup too. Daiwa Steez, okay? Steez, I don't even know what year it is, but it's an 8-to-1 gear ratio. It's on a Daiwa EGS, it's Tatula EGS, and it's a 7'4". It's a little aggressive, but 7'4" frog rod, Ish Monroe frog rod. Okay, now you could throw frogs on it, you could throw a jig on it, you could pitch, you could punch with it. So I like that a lot. I'm not changing the line out because I just changed it out probably 2 trips ago. So not changing that out. But bam, there you go. That's setup number 1. Like I said, this is not my go-to. This is for when I get to a certain spot and it's like a 45-degree bank or a flat or something, and it just sounds real fishy. Then I'll throw it. But I usually don't throw this right off the bat. Put the rod sleeves back on. Right. This is the one I've already rigged up. This is probably one of my big money makers also. Once again, people are going to be like, this is too expensive. But it is what it is. This is a little swim bait. You know the channel. You know we love throwing these little swim baits. It's a Kayak 3.3 on a VMC quarter-ounce jig head. This jig head is real good. Underrated right now, but it's a real good jig head. I put on my umbrella rigs and everything. The rod is a Randall Tharp series, 7-foot, do it all. The line, 16 on that jig. This line, 10. Once again, Daiwa Steez SVTW. It's like a $500 rod over real. But I bought it, like I said, all these I bought for a good deal. I think I paid $400 for it. Still pretty excessive, but I got 2 of these. That's how good these things are, you know. I don't treat my reels super nice. There's a lot of scratches at the front, as you can see. Lots of scratches, but this reel was like built for this swim bait. The rod's a little on the stiff side, but it was built for that. Once in a while, here's the other one. This is one that's already pre-rigged and just sitting there, so I had to take this one too. But that lake, even though it's a super deep lake, there's a lot of humps on it. Do not leave town without a deep diamond crankbait. Do not do it. So many times, tournaments out there, they want a deep diamond crankbaits. So obviously, it's already rigged. 12-pound line. This is a 5XD. It's on a 7 and 11-foot rod. This is a 13. This is the original 13. Like 7 and 11 I bought a long time ago. Tatula, 200 size. 6-3 gear ratio. 12-pound line. You know? I bought a lot of money on this. Caught a personal bet on it, too. Okay. Here's the next one that we're going to be throwing. And I have to spool some new line on this. So you guys will see me spool line on this too. Because I'm low. Yeah, I'm low. I'm a little low. So, a little low. But people don't give these little crankbaits enough credit. Little KVD 1.0. My brother turned me on to that, and I won a major tournament on it. Well, I did, actually. All right, we got to take the line off. So we're taking the line off. We're just going to put it in this thing. So, yep, a bunch of line coming off. All right. Let me know if you guys like this stuff. I mean, rigging stuff. Or watching me rig stuff. Because we could definitely do more of this stuff. There you go. That is FC fluorocarbon sunline. That was 10-pound line. So that leg is very bipolar too. So some days are real good, some days are not. So this rod has to double as a jerk bait rod. It has to double as a crankbait rod, like a small crankbait rod. It also has to double as a Ned rig rod, believe it or not. I've actually won a lot of money on a Ned rig throwing this thing too. Alright, so setup. This is G Loomis. I don't know, you guys are like, man, this guy's throwing out all the good stuff. And it's like, no, this just happens to be like this, okay? For a totally different tournament, you would see rods you can buy at Walmart. But today, once again, we're throwing small baits. And I didn't want to go to the spinning reels, these things. This should be thrown on a spinning reel. But if you have a steez that's designed to throw little things, throw it on the steez. Once again, this is a steez. It is a SVTW. Once again, just like the other one. It's like a $500 reel. And this rod, this is a Jalumis IMX. It's like a $300 rod too. So this is like an $800 combo. Christmas present for myself, obviously. You know what I mean? When you spin it, it's making some noise. It needs a little oil. So we will give it a little oil. So there's two oils I like. Or I've come to like, put it that way. One is it's called the lightning grease or something. Can't remember where it's at, but here's the other one that I like. Lucas oil. Lucas makes a lot of good products for the car world. Put a drop on there. Put a drop on there. And all he needs is a drop. And a drop on the bearing. Call it good. Alright, put it back in. I don't turn my reels completely down. I never saw really reason to do so. So now, let's check how smooth it is. It's actually not that smooth. This one probably needs a complete teardown. Alright, let me get my line. If anybody needs 20-pound sniper, Academies, 2 weeks ago, Academies had it on sale for $14.99 instead of $29.99. So, in case somebody's in the market for some, I picked up 5 rolls. So, I hope trying to help you guys save some money on some good stuff. Says 10-pound line. 10-pound is plenty good for just about everything. So, jerk baits, Ned rigs, small swim baits. It's all good for that stuff. You know what? I need to take this spool back out. That's pretty dope. Oh, yeah. For the guys that are watching, if you guys go to Tornado Innovation and you guys like the rigs, there is a YouTube coupon for $5 off that will never be turned off. So this is only for the YouTubers, the YouTube subscribers. If you type in YouTube 2022, you'll get $5 off your order. and you can use as many times as you want. Order this. That didn't work out. Yeah. A little rusty guy. That didn't work out. Yeah. A little rusty, guys. I've been doing this in a while, as you can see. Alright. This is how I prepare for all my tournaments, dude. I spend probably way too much time playing with gear. But, I also pick up the idea that, or with the peace of mind that, my gear is ready to go. I shouldn't have any problems when I'm out there. Like old line problems, Shouldn't have that problem. Because you just put brand new line on. Should be real good. 10 pound better hold up to 10 pound. But I have a feeling tomorrow big baits might not play. Oh, small baits. So we're going to be throwing a lot of small stuff. All right. All right, looks pretty good. Okay. So, in a clear lake, you don't throw chartreuse. You throw something else. All right. Here's my hard baits to get all year. So more than likely, there we go. That's the magic right there. This should be the magic for tomorrow. See this color? This is how I pick colors. See that color? Look at that. Look at that. It's a see-through color. Basically, it's like a little purple haze see-through. And we are gonna kill it, hopefully. The thing about these little Strike Kings is you gotta tune them, man. They come out of the package, they never run right. You gotta tune them. I gotta tune them on the water tomorrow. Austin asks, what's your trolling motor battery setup for the kayak? Just got in kayak fishing, thought about a cheap lifetime? Cheap lifetime to see if I would enjoy looking at purchasing a Bonafide or a Jackson. If I told you, you'd probably shit your pants. But for a battery, the most important thing about the whole kayak thing is if you're doing a trolling motor, it's all about the battery. So heavy emphasis on the battery, okay? Because if you're one of those kayaks that doesn't have a paddle drive, or pedal drive, if you go out there, say 2 miles out, and you run out of battery, to come back is a chore, okay? Because I've done it. It's horrible, especially if there's wind, and especially if you run out of water and you got to paddle back, it's pretty bad. So if you're going to get a battery, oh man, see, I told you I'm not a pro. I missed that guy right there. So if you're going to get a kayak with the intentions of putting a battery on it and a trolling motor, try to go with something that's 55-pound thrust, something in that range, 50-pound thrust, because everything else is just too slow, okay? And do your best to rig it up safely so that it doesn't fall off on you while you're out there. And for a battery, like I said, biggest battery you could muscle. So I know I used to run. I've ran all types of batteries. Okay, I ran cheap Walmart batteries to $1,000 lithiums to custom built lithiums. Okay, so but for your question specifically, Alan, you said you're just getting into the sport. So if you're just getting into the sport, I'm sure you're not sure if you're going to stay or not. So I don't want to give you a bad impression on a sport that's so expensive you don't want to stick around. It's not my intentions. Actually, that's not what I want to do at all. And I don't want you to go down the wrong path of just looking at all my gear and you're like, man, this guy just dropped $1,000 on something, and I'm not even sure if I could do it. Okay, so that's not what I'm trying to do. So if you're just coming into the world of kayaks, right? Go get your kayak. Go get yourself a kayak that's stable. Okay, something that you're not going to flip. And for the most part, if you're talking to a Bass Pro representative or you're talking to a Cabela's representative or any of your local kayak stores, they'll tell you which ones are the stable ones and which ones aren't. Okay, most of the stable ones are going to be dubbed fishing kayaks. Okay, so you want to get a fishing kayak. The wider it is, the more stable it is. Okay, so first and foremost, at least get you one of those. They can they can range from like they're pretty nice ones right now for like $700. But if that's still out of your price range, look into the used market. Like my kayak, I bought it used. I didn't even buy it brand new. But look into that. Get a wide kayak so that way you can mount your trolling motors and everything on it, and it won't flip. On top of all that, you want a kayak that doesn't flip so you don't lose all your gear. Okay, that's very important too. We've had a lot of guys in the past who've, I wouldn't say they bought a kayak that doesn't flip, but they bought a kayak that uh, doesn't handle their weight. You know, so if you're 6 foot, you need to buy a kayak that can handle your height and your weight. Because if you don't, it'll flip, and if it flips, you're in danger. You know, it's simple as that. Okay, so that's it. In terms of batteries, if you have the coin to spare, there's a company called Amped Outdoors. They sell lithiums. It's the best prices out there, period. There's even a coupon code that gets you 10% off again. It's actually our club's sponsorship code. They don't care if we hand it out, but it is OKA 2022. I believe that's what it is. You get 10% off your entire cart, which is excellent because I've used it 4 or 5 times. But if you can't spare that money, lithium's expensive. They start out about $300. Okay, if you can't do that, go with the Walmart brand, man. That's the only thing. That's the cheapest ones I've found, and they're always available. Um, get the 20. Is it 29? I think it's a 29 size deep cycle battery. Okay, very important to have a deep cycle battery. I think they're $110, and the battery is giant. I mean, it's a big battery. Okay, because more than likely you're gonna on a 50-pound thrust trolling motor, you're gonna be on it quite a bit. So you want a lot of juice, is what it is. You can get the smaller ones, but I feel like on a smaller one, you're gonna wear it out pretty quick, especially if you're running around, especially if you're trolling for fish. Right. Well, that's that setup. That's the Steez with a little square bill on it. That's done. All right. We gotta have a topwater popper. Okay, that lake for some reason likes poppers. I don't know why. I just know they like poppers, they like the pop R, and they like gotta clean out my box. More baits gotta clean out. We got square bills. I got a finesse chatterbait, wake bait, headlights, spinner baits, quarter-ounce spinner bait. This thing's discontinued and it's magic. I don't even throw spinner baits, and I say that. Okay, we have to tie a leader to this. We're gonna tie a leader. Show you guys how to tie a leader too. Put my line back. When it comes to leaders, I throw a 20-pound Okay, if you're running the Arkansas River, the Canadian, you're gonna need a lot of power. I don't think a 55-pound thrust trolling motor can do it. You might have to step it up to an outboard if that's the case. Because I say this because I had a friend who had a pretty built new canoe with I think it was a 45-pound thrust trolling motor up front and a 3 horsepower. And he couldn't get up the Arkansas River. I'll tell you that much. It was pretty intense. River fishing is pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Like a 55-pound thrust probably won't do it. Speaking from experience. I mean, if you're going upriver. If you're in an eddy, it's okay. Yep. I hear you, man. It's pretty hard, but somebody gotta do it. You know? That's what I always say. It's like it's also the sense of adventure, right? Doing something that's really hard to do. The reward's always a lot better at the end if it works. That's what we kind of are. We're more of an adventure channel than we are a fishing channel, I think. Like, we like to do things that are always changing. You know, that hence why you guys see us not doing as much striper stuff anymore. Because when we first started the channel, it was all out stripers, dam fishing, and more dam fishing. But now we've transitioned to, well, we did transition to kayaks. Now we're going into the boat world. And we're now into the lure building world. You know, so the channel has. We need to do more YouTube videos for everybody. But it is what it is. You know, we're not film people, so we're not always recording. Some of our best trips we can't show you guys out of respect for other anglers who have asked us not to show their honey holes. Because there's some good places out there, guys. I'm telling you, you just gotta do your homework. Just gotta fish them. All right, all right. Pull it tight a couple times. Because if you pull it that tight, there's no way little smallmouth's gonna pull that knot. So that's FG knot for anybody who is curious. FG knot is that good. If you know how to tie it, it's that good. I swear by it. I need a haircut too. My hair's getting way too long. All right. Okay. All right. Clip it off. All right. And I usually put about 4 foot. Yeah, about 4 foot. Yeah, about 4 foot leader. And popper actually doesn't pop on the surface every time. It kind of goes under the water a little bit when you do a fluorocarbon leader instead of a monoliter. But I keep breaking my monoliters. I don't know why. Bad luck with monoliters. Alright, so we got a bunch of baits. If you have to throw a Ned rig, throw a black one. That's all I gotta say. It's the only thing I really care. Black Neds. I thought I had my bait here. Oh, here we go. If you guys are watching, you guys want me to pick a lure out for you tonight? I'll pick one for you. It's this one. Mega Bass Pop X. Is that good? Pop X is that good, okay, guys? It's that good. If you get a chance to buy one, just buy one. Oh, this hook needs to be sharpened. Where's my hook sharpener? All right. Yeah, Austin. We haven't been to Eufaula in a long time, but 2017 that was definitely us. That was definitely my brother. He did a lot of that back in 2017. He was there almost every other day. He worked second shift, and as soon as he got home, grabbed the John boat, and he was off. Like I said, some of those places, man, like some of those trips, we have recorded, but we can't show the world. We can't show the world, man, because they would say that's photoshopped or that's Hollywood magic. There's no way there's that many fish over there, but there is. You know, there is. All right, much better. You know, I'm just gonna replace that one. Just gonna replace that one. I've already sharpened it like 2-3 times already. All right, so I really preach this when you're tournament fishing, especially if money's on the line. Tuesday nights, not so much, but when we fish the Oklahoma kayaking tour, I like to have my hooks real sharp. I've lost too many fish with just dull hooks, dull and stock hooks. So toss that out. We're gonna throw another one on there. Hook of choice, owner. Pretty much my trebles. When it comes to trebles, owner ST36 is my first choice. Unless if it's stripers, then I kind of sway away from them because they're super sticky, but they bend out real easy. So when it comes to striped bass, those guys they don't really give a shit. So they'll make you cry. So you gotta beef up your tackle when you're chasing stripers. And hybrids for that matter. But when it comes to largemouths, smallmouths, it's excellent. There it is. Mega Bass Pop X. I can't remember if it was a Pop X or a Pop Max. I keep forgetting what it is. And then on the Topwater, we throw a loop knot. So my loop knot, I simply loop it. Got a loop, kind of like that. Big old loop. And then I don't even know if this is on the internet or not, but I go through, come back, go through the loop I just made or did make first, and just uni knot it. Onto the main line. That's it. Trim it off. So you got two guys. Man, you guys are pretty dedicated. Of course, I did this unannounced. If I announced it, usually we get like 20 guys online. But since I did not announce it, and you guys are pretty cool because you guys get to see all the goods, all the stuff that me and my brother do. This is how we win tournaments. This is how, super dominant. Just that's how we stayed very dominant too. Okay, so a lot of it is prep work. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do feel like we prep too much. Okay, so all right, so that looks good. The loop knot, as you can see, and that one's ready to go. Rod and reel setup. Let's see. For the guys that want to know, I don't know. I don't want to keep on throwing high-end brands at you guys, but I have more little non-brands and high-end brands. Once again, it's a G Loomis with a Daiwa Ballistic on it. Ballistic 3000, running original Power Pro to 20-pound fluorocarbon. This is the Sniper Pop X. Crazy combo. Really, really good combo for me. Especially where I know there's smallmouth present. I like this combo a lot. So do that. Keep it there. Okay. And then we gotta have a chatterbait setup. So for the chatterbait setup, last time I was there, I lost the tournament because my chatterbait setup wasn't right. So we're not gonna let that happen again. Well, we might have to. here's one for you guys. Here's one for you guys. Tackle tip Monday night. All right, tackle tip Monday night. All right, here's a different one. Here's a different rod company. We got Dobbins. Okay. Dobbins 736 glass chatterbait rod. 7.4. Should be pretty good. It's on 20-pound line. And I think it's fairly new. I don't think I have to change the line out. Ugh. I don't like it. It's a little low. It's a little low. We'll change it out. If it's low, that means I haven't changed it out in a while. Because I've been pretty busy building a company, basically. Looking at patents, looking at how to market stuff. And been a little laggy on changing line. So back a little bit. So for the most part, it's 20-pound line. This is 20. Yeah, I know there's only 3 guys, but if you guys have any questions related to kayaks or bass or stripers or anything like that, just let me know. Have that. Let me get my jackhammer. Because I have a jackhammer. If you guys are here, you guys are in for a treat because I'll show you a real. For the guys that don't throw jackhammers because jackhammers are too expensive, I found a real good alternative. But you have to order it from overseas. Okay? The alternative is this guy. It looks just like a jackhammer. This is the real jackhammer, and this is the imitation. See it? See the difference? There we go. It looks just like it. $3 shipped. $15.99. The difference is almost no difference. Almost no difference. Okay? It's actually got a better hook on this one. On the imitation, believe it or not, it's actually got a better hook. I believe it's also got a better skirt. Okay? It's also got a better skirt. I don't know why. Don't know why. So anyhow, this is one of the imitations rigged out. Check this out. Right? From looking at it, you're like, that's a jackhammer. Reality, it's not. Chinese knockoff. It's really good. That's all I gotta say. I call a lot of fish on them too, but I'm not 100% sold on them yet. So we're gonna go jackhammer for the rest of the day. We're gonna go jackhammer for the tournament. For the tournament. But what I like to do is I like to add a split ring to this. oval split ring. Add a little oval split ring to this, and I feel more confident. A friend, his name is Addison Lee. He gave me this tip a long time ago. He says if you add a split ring to this, to your jackhammer, it thumps even harder. I was like, really? I don't know about that, but I tried it. I tried it probably 5 years ago. Haven't fished it without a split ring ever since. The other thing is I always bite this clip down. This clip tends to open up. I don't know why it doesn't come clip down. I just crimp it down. Crimp it down. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Alright, let's see. I put my 20-pound line on there. Like I said, 20-pound line from Academy's, $14.99. I don't know if it's still available or not. Only available online. I checked the prices at the actual store, and it was still like 28 something. So it might be a online special only. But if you got it, you know, it's a good price. Great price, actually. And this is the Alberto knot for the guys who care. Alberto knot. Okay. All right. Pull it tight. Looks good. And we will cut it. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's okay. That's just tight again. Looks good. All right. Let's reel up some line. Actually, I don't want this one. Is there another reel? Hold on. I don't like this setup. Don't like it. What's this one? 6'3"? What's it say? I don't like it. Speed's not fast enough. Where's all my other reels? It's 20. That's the second one? Dang it. All right. You know what? Changed my mind. Changed my mind. We're not running this one. We're running the braided one. Changed my mind. All right. Something that people don't tell you about is you can always get your chatterbait on braid in clear water. Okay, chatterbait, clear water. Just make sure you tie a pretty long leader. You should be all right. All right. Where's my other one? Which one is this one? All right. 40-pound max quattro, and we are gonna put a big leader on it. That's what we're gonna do. Once again, I'm a big fan of 20-pound leader, so we're gonna put 20-pound leader on this. There's the new 20-pound FG knot again. Wet it. Pull it tight. Yep, pull it real tight. And then bunch of overhand knots onto it. Yep, this is preparing for a tournament, guys. If you're just coming in, we are preparing for a Tuesday night jackpot on W.R. Holloway, Chimney Rock, Pumpback. All three names. So I like to do all that stuff. Last but not least, I'll give you guys a trip. Not a trip, but a treat. You'll see the umbrella rig. It's a prototype umbrella rig. So we have the rigs that we're selling right now. And we got rigs that we're trying out right now. So the idea is sound. We just don't know if it'll work. So stay tuned for that if you want to see what's the latest and greatest. And if you have any other questions you just want to ask in general, fishing in general, it doesn't have to be about tournament fishing. It could be anything. Could be boats too, you know. We got 2 boats. There are 2 boats, 3 kayaks, 2 merchant fishing tackle. All right, that works. All right, and after that, I like a low leader just because I'm on a yellow braided line. You know. All right. How about a 5-foot leader? 5-foot sounds pretty good. All right, and we're gonna go with that white, just that white. All right. All right, here we go. Jackhammer and trailer. Um, thinking about this one. I want a small trailer for tomorrow. Might be a little too small. This is what I hate about the Z-Man plastics. I mean, they're great when they work, but when they don't, it's like, what the heck is going on? You know, they all stick around, they stick up and everything. It's horrible, but when they do work, it saves you a lot of money. Let's see if this is too crazy or not. I wouldn't say so. I'll try it. Good enough to try to pinch this down a little bit too, because these barbs are too crazy. All right, should work. See how it looks, you know. No idea how it's gonna look, but I'm gonna try to see it. Oh, it's horrible. It's not even straight. It's horrible. Do that again. Damn, really? Yeah, that's not bad. It'll work. A little, trim it up a little bit though. Oh, maybe not. Yep. Looks just like a shad. Oh, it can be alright. Trim it up a little bit. I think it's a little too big right now. All right. There it is. It's perfect. Last thing you gotta do is see how the hook is just straight. Gotta bend it up. Got to bend this up. I know. There you go. See how it's bent up like that now? That's money. That's the money shot. Yes, it'll hang up on rocks and stuff a lot more, but yes, you will hook up a lot more fish by doing that. So that's another tip for you guys. Okay. That's the chatterbait. I have to re-rig some of these. Okay. Here's a more budget-friendly setup for you guys. 13 fishing, 7.3 medium heavy, Tattoola rod and reel with a big old monster on there. Big old monster. Old monster worm. Should work. Should work. All right, I think that's almost it. Um, I feel like I need a cranking setup. Another cranking setup. But I can't. I can't take it. Can't take it. 8 rods only, guys. 8 rods only. So what we're gonna do is show you guys what's up. Uh, All right. Here you go. Clear rig, right? Some of you guys have been asking to see this thing. And there it is. It's an old one, too. It's not even the latest one. So I got to super glue it because the arm is starting to fall apart. And I probably should change out all these heads, too. They're kind of dull at the moment. Yeah. Pretty dull, actually. This is the rig that's caught the most amount of fish, too. So something's doing something right. Yep, I like this rig. It just works, man. It's crazy, but it just works. All right. All right, super glue. Where's my super glue? Just had it. I just had it. Hiya, sad. Huh. Oh, there it is. It fell on the ground. All right. Clear rig. The arms, after you've caught so many fish with them, they will and they can pull away. But no big deal. All you got to do is just glue them and slide them back. Slide them back in, and they're good to go again for another, I don't know, however many trips. The cool thing about our clear rig that we built is the arms never break. They don't. They can't. They don't break. There it is. It's basically ready to go again. I think these are all quarter ounces. Yeah, might be all quarters. Yep, might be all quarter ounce. Yeah. It is currently 9:30. I've been online for an hour 30. That's about how long I usually stay online anyways. Hour 30. We're almost done. Just trying to show you guys how I prepare for tournaments. So yeah, this lake is it goes up and down. Crazy up and down. Like you've never seen a body of water do this before. All right. I feel like I gotta put something on here, but I'm not sure what. Oh yeah, this is that Chinese jackhammer I was telling you guys about. Let me trim that up a little bit. It's a little extreme right now. What it is. There we go. A lot better. Okay, let's grab some jig heads. Yep. Like I said, favorite jig heads, VMC. VMC, this for little swim baits. We gotta go. We're gonna put down a whole pack basically. Putting down a whole pack. It's for the A rig. It's for the umbrella rig. I don't know why people call it A rigs, but it's really an umbrella rig. Come from the ocean world. They have tons of umbrella rigs. It's nothing new, you know. All right, somebody just bought one of our items from our website. If it's one of you, let me know because I gotta send you $5 back because you didn't use the code. So if it's one of you guys, let me know. YouTube 2022 gives you $5 off. We got 9 people online, huh? Let me know in the comments if you've watched from the beginning. Thinking about giving some away for the diehard guys. All right, so there you go. See how pretty that looks now? All right, so we got our jig heads. We got our roars. Roars. Let's see. We got. The magic is the 3-3 Kayak. 3-3 Kayak, man. It's hard to beat. Everybody's copying this one. Until this day, it's still hard to beat. This is one of those lures that once in a while it comes along, and you know, no matter how much flack they try to give it, it just defeats everybody. You know, it's that good. We've tried all other swim baits, and I mean all other swim baits too. But when it comes to a smaller profile, a 3-inch profile, it is not even comparable. It is not comparable, man. It's just not. Okay. Strike Kings, whatever. Throw it at it. It will chew it up and spit it out. Because it's that good, okay? It's that good. 3-3 Kayak. There we go. That color too. Rainbow shad. Rainbow shad. It's basically a shad color. Very, very good shad color. My brother was playing with these colors a lot at one time. He was just picking anything that sounded cool. He was buying them. And before you know it, find a bunch of colors that you really like that are not the usual, like green pumpkin. It's a little bit different. You find out it's a real good color. It's a real good color. There it is. It is expensive though, don't get me wrong. Rigging up an A rig, it's hard. I'm not even throwing it on the live tomorrow, so hope I don't lose it. That's the crazy part. Hope I don't lose it. All right, so let's go. A rig. One more try. A rigs and the umbrella rigs. Doesn't matter what you call them, they work. Especially now that we got the whole Mega Live and the whole forward facing sonar thing. Ow, pinch myself. It's almost like I don't know why you don't have it. The Mega Lives, the Pan Optics, the active targets. It has made the umbrella rigs and the A rigs come back. If you look at wintertime fishing, it's all about it. Jerk baits and A rigs. Jerk baits, A rigs, and umbrella rigs. All right. And there we go. And there it is. And there it is. Like that. Pretty cool, right? This is the 5-wire. Not going to throw the 9-wire. Right? I know you guys want to see the 9-wire, but I don't have the 9-wire right now. It's 20 pounds. Throw it on 20. So this is the rod I usually throw it on. I don't know why. But it's my lucky rod, and I'm going with it. Let me know if you guys have a lucky rod too, because a lot of guys, they're very superstitious. Like a black rod's better than a red rod type stuff. All right. Let's see. All right. I mean, this is probably not the reel to be throwing this on, but oh well. I've done it and it works pretty good, so I'm gonna keep on doing. But 20-pound line, throwing like a 1-ounce umbrella rig. Okay, should be good. Shouldn't have any problems with it. Actually, this is my favorite setup for that lake. Favorite setup for that lake. I really like it. So do I. Everybody you talk to is probably going to tell you this is too light of a rod, but no, y'all can't help it. Needs a little oil. Needs a little oil. Sorry. Oh no. That sucks. That's why you're not turned pro yet. Yeah. Brain fart moment. You know me, you think you got it? You know. Oh, dang it. All right, there we go. There we go. Cross country outdoors. How do you like your heat in Oklahoma? You know, quite honestly, cross country, I really like it for the fishing. It's really good because it keeps everybody at home, and I'm the only one out there. And the topwater bite gets real good. All right. There it is. That's the umbrella rig setup. That's the umbrella rig setup. F85, Mr. Civic over here, you know. What is the best value budget 7-inch fish finder? It really depends on where you're fishing at, man. What are you trying to do with it? Because if it's a 7, I don't have a lot of experiences with other brands. The only thing I've ever ran is Humminbird. So I mean, that's a very very big question. Big question to ask is depends on what you want to do with it. You know, it's like are you fishing rivers? Are you you doing like tournaments? You know what kind of fish you're looking for? Are you trolling most of the times? What are you trying to do? Because if you're a tournament fisherman, you have to get something with side imaging in 2022. No way around it. You have to get something. Every company has their own version of side imaging. Humminbird just has to have the best one. Um, so I recommend Humminbird. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but even in the industry, it's like Hummingbird's still the best company to go with. Well, I say that kind of being biased because I don't have much experience with other brands, but if you look at all the tournament fishermen that are not sponsored by a fishing like fish finder company, you will find out that there's an overwhelming amount of them that like Humminbird. Um, and there's a reason why, right? Up until the point of well, let me rephrase that. Hummingbirds are a lot harder to use. The fish finders are a lot harder to use. Like when you first get into fish finders, they are a lot harder to use. I believe the Lorances are a lot easier to use. Okay, they have a better user interface, but when you really get them dialed in, I still think the Hummingbird's a little bit better. Garmin's are pretty far back, unless if you're talking about light scope and Panoptics, then they're actually the best one. Everything else they're not there. Because I've had guys, close kind of friends who've gone to Garmin's and who have been like big Humminbird guys, and they're just like the Panoptics is great. Or the live action target thing is great. But when it comes to the mapping, when it comes to just everything else, it's a little behind. It's a little behind, you know. All right, so there we go. That's the umbrella rig with a jackhammer on the back. That's a Chinese jackhammer, by the way. That's not a real jackhammer. Because I'm bound to lose it, and I don't want to lose $15. Okay, I gotta sharpen this hook too. A lot of the fishermen I know, they don't sharpen the hooks enough. I think I'm probably the one that's really, really, really just gotta have. That's like a sharp. I mean, it is sharp right now. It's probably too sharp. Oh yeah, you can't touch that. Can't touch it. Cannot touch it. Probably put a little body on it too. I'll put a little body on it. It needs a little body. Straight white, razor shad. Razor shad and white. Can't go wrong with it. I've probably won thousands of it. Are you into BFS fishing gear? The two Steezes, that's Daiwa's versions. That's a Daiwa version of the BFS. If you haven't, if you're not a Daiwa guy, BFS for the guys that don't know, I believe that's Shimano, right? Shimano lightweight stuff. And yes, it is a luxury to have BFS because all BFS is taking all the spinning gear, like your quarter ounces and smaller, and putting it on a bait caster setup. And yeah, it's real nice. I love bait casters now. For a while there, I never wanted to go back to a spinning reel, right? But there are certain things that a spinning reel, to me at least, still dominates. Like I'll give you real good example, right? The shaky head, right? Shaky head and a jerk bait. Well, primarily more of a jerk bait. If a jerk bait, if it's a jerk bait bite, right? Say that it's a jerk bait bite. If it's a jerk bait bite, and it's like one of those jerk bait bites where you have to let it suspend for 5 seconds before you get bit. Right, that's what triggers them, 5 seconds. If I'm on a bait caster, I always want to reel it. Like for some stupid reason, I can't just let it be. I always want to reel. I don't know. That's my power. That's my power nature, power fishing nature, right? But if I throw that same bait, I throw it on a spinning reel, I'm okay with letting it kind of just sit and mellow out. So for me, it kind of depends on what I want to do with it. And that's it. That's the main reason for it. So check that out, right? That looked like money right there. That looked good. Can I move this up a little bit? Kind of right there. Super glue back on it. So the rigs that we were selling, they're pretty good, but over time, because of the way we're building them, super glue can't hold forever. So it has to budge a little bit. And when it does, you just have to re-super glue it. But it's part of the trade-off. It's like when the fish don't want to bite, you gotta downsize your line. So when they bite, you gotta fight the fish. You gotta really fight the fish. Sometimes on a 4-pound line, you gotta fight the fish. But regardless, that's a crazy setup right there. It's an umbrella rig, but it's clear. And a lot of people won't tell you that, but on the back, don't just put another swim bait. You want to put something different, something that attracts them. A-rigs don't have enough vibration, so there you go. There's a jackhammer on the back. No, not a jackhammer, but chatterbait on the back. And that, my friends, is tournament preparation for one lake. If we're going to, the thing is, if we're going to like a national championship or a big event, we actually prep even more. But since I know this lake fairly well, that's all I'm going to do. If I can't win on that, it wasn't meant to be. One of them days. So, put all these things away. I don't know if I should throw this or not. I might have to throw this. 2.0. I'm thinking. Why not? Why not? We're gonna do something that I usually don't do. I thought it was spinnerbait. I want to rig up one more rod. I really want to rig up. Because there's a chance it could be a cranking bite. If it's a cranking bite, I know I can win because I like to crank, okay? If it's a crank and bite, I feel like I can win. So in moments like this, you should bring it. So break my own rule. I usually bring only 8 rods, but today we're going to bring 10 because I want to bring this guy. I'm going to bring this guy. And I'm not the only one that's crazy, okay? So a lot of guys that come out fish for this, there's everybody from like first timers to like seasoned veterans, seasoned touring pros, you can say. So you get a little bit of everybody. So if you come out, it doesn't mean the more gear you have, the more chances you are to win, but it kind of keeps us from getting too rusty. Because I know I got another decent tournament in about 3 weeks. 2 weeks, actually. 2 weeks. And I'm real rusty, so I gotta make sure I'm good, you know. Gotta make sure I'm good. Gotta make sure I'm good to go. So I actually don't like this rod very much. Change this out. Change it out. To another rod. Alright. You guys want budget? Budget setup? Here we go. This is probably the best rod I have for the money. I mean, when I first bought it, I didn't like it because I didn't know what I was doing. But this is, it's already discontinued. You can't even buy it anymore. But if you do find these, grab them. I'll tell you very specifically what it is too. This is the Quantum KVD Tour model. It has to be the Tour model. There's also the KVD T model, not as good. The Tour model is the one you want. If you can find them, let me know. I want to buy it. It's that good. It's a crankbait rod, but it is, I don't know. It's got magic voodoo crap with it because I've used it for so long now, and it just keeps going. Mr. Kevin Van Dam has designed this one real nice. That's all I gotta say. It's a real nice rod. And paired with a $100 reel. You know? So this is what I want to do. Put this on 12-pound line, but I will put it on a crankbait that's a little smaller. A little smaller crankbait. Every time I go to this lake, I tell myself I need to go throw a crankbait, and I don't, just to find out later it was Walmart crankbait. So I gotta throw a crankbait this time. KVD Tour 7-foot medium heavy. It's good for a lot of different things, but it's exceptionally good on crankbaits. All that DT10s is just magic on it. Magic. So if you guys haven't followed us or haven't shown up to the Tuesday nights this year, we've been doing pretty bad. I haven't won anything. It's already coming down to like the last 6 events, and I haven't won anything. I'd like to win at least one event a year. I think everybody would like to win at least one event a year. You know, I haven't. You do, you know? Kind of feel like you do. Alright, there we go. Scant Alberto knot. Actually, on this one, it doesn't really matter. Oops. Do we fish low water? No, we don't. Hardly ever. The reason for that is there's too many people there. That's the simple answer. Too many people there. Although it's a great place to fish. I know so many people that like that spot. Like that's their favorite spot. But I've only been to low water maybe twice in my 15 years I've been here. So shows you how much that's my favorite spot. I try to find other places, that's not so crowded. I fish Oolaga a lot. I used to fish Oolaga a lot. The dams, I fish Hudson Dam a lot. But there's a limited access on that dam. You have to be on a boat. And then I fish Keystone a lot. Well, I used to. I don't do it as much as I used to. But oh man. But yeah, I've been trying to explore, trying to stay ahead of the curve, trying to explore and trying to bring you guys a different content because I'm sure you guys get tired of just watching me fish the same spot over and over and over. Right? When I get tired of watching myself talk about it, to be honest. All right. So we got all this other stuff. All right. Got the backing on there. This is 12-pound FC Sniper, if anyone wants to know. FC Sniper is... I've tried all the brands, too. That's the other thing. Like, I've tried everything. When I first started fishing, like bass fishing, I've tried every brand of fluorocarbon, and I've landed on this, and I've never left. I've tried Abrasics, I've tried Invisex, I've tried P-Line, I've tried Berkeley, I've tried all the brands. I've tried Bass Pro Shop specials. I've tried some no-name brands too. And, trying to hopefully find a good one. But I don't know, man. Something about the Sniper. Sniper always comes back. Is it hard to find white bass on Lakeside? Right now, it's not. Right now, every single lake in Oklahoma, and I'm not even joking, every single lake in Oklahoma, the white bass are on a blitz mode right now. So if you go on the lake, you're going to see them. If they're there, they'll blitz at night. And go to the closest point, Sandy Point, they're there. They might not blitz that night, but they're there. They're just there. Just know that they're there. Oolaga, Keystone's crazy with that. Like the craziest topwater white bass bite I've ever seen was on a Keystone. For some stupid reason, never went back. But yeah, you can ask my brothers too. Like we've never seen a white bass blitz like that before. That was maybe 4 years ago. No, more than that. 6 years ago. I took a little John boat out because I wanted to find a new fishing spot, right? Got tired of fishing below Keystone Dam. So I was like, yeah, we gotta go find a new spot. So he's like, all right, where do you want to go? And I was like, looking at the map, and I was like, I want to go here. Never been here before. So yeah, it's like 105 out, and we go. right? Kind of like right now. It was in August also. Okay, so it is right now. Go out there. It was dead. There was nothing there. And my brother was like, "Man, you made a mistake." I was like, "I don't know, man. Wait till prime time, man. Wait till prime time." Man, prime time came. If you don't know what prime time is basically a word that we've put together here at the YouTube channel. Prime time is the best time. It's an hour before sunset, an hour it's an hour after sunrise or before sunrise, an hour before the sun goes down. Right, prime time. And I tell you what, I've never seen 1,000 white bass blitz before. That's the first time that I felt like there was 1,000 white bass blitzing. Freaking unbelievable. And usually the white bass will blitz pretty good. As soon as the sun goes down, the blitz stops. I mean, this kept going. That's how crazy it was. I've never seen that before. All right, so is that it? I think that's it. So let me put some stuff back together. So we got 2 crankbaits, 3 crankbaits. We have 3 crankbaits, a topwater, a swim bait, a jig, a jackhammer chatterbait, an umbrella rig, and a worm. That's all we got. So depending on what happens tomorrow at the boat ramp, we will put one away because when you carry 9 rods, it feels like you're just confusing yourself more than doing yourself good. So try to carry only 8. But we'll see. See what happens at the ramp tomorrow. If you're gonna be there, come say hello. We're always there fairly early, but we're always there. We always launch late. Always launch late. I think it's one of those things that we just got accustomed to doing. All right. Well, that's about it, guys. Any last minute questions before I close it down? Let me know. Last minute questions. So we actually had a lot of guys come on tonight. I was kind of surprised for Monday night. But yep. Anyways, thanks for sticking by. If you guys want to, pick up a topwater, like a performance tuned topwater with ugly paint on it, but it'll definitely get you good. Let me know. Yeah, send us a private message on Instagram or on Facebook, and I'll get in touch with you, and we can we'll make something work. Like I said, those I'm not going to sell for full price because that's just kind of a trial and error thing. But if no one buys them, we'll throw them ourselves. No big deal. All right, guys. And last minute questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna lock it down. And thanks everybody for coming. Seems like everybody's cool. We got 6 people. We got 7 thumbs ups. All right. So hopefully I do more of these. Every time I go out, I'll try to do a rigging video so everybody knows what's going on, what my thoughts are. Like I said, this lake is it's a clear water lake, so you have to kind of go opposite ends. Either throw something big, deep, or you're gonna have to throw something small, shallow, crank it real fast. There is some cover. There's some cover, but there's not a lot. So that's why we got crankbaits, but at the same time we do have a big worm. A big worm we can fish through like the structure and stuff like that. We have a jig that we can power fish. We got 3 crankbaits. Well, the little crankbait is just mid-water type stuff. The 2 other crankbaits are kind of a gamble, cranking deeper. We got a DT10 and a 6XD. I might change the 6XD out to a Realis G87. They'll dive 20. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that yet. And then the chatterbait is just there for right at prime time, prime time only. That should play. The umbrella rig, points and bluffs should play. The small swim bait's my search tool. Small search tool, cleanup bait type of deal. Crawl it on the ground and they'll pick it up. It's like my shaky head, like that. And that's it. That's the 9 rods. Like I said, probably tomorrow, more than likely, the last rod I just rigged up probably won't make the lineup. Probably won't make the cut. Tomorrow, we are fishing Tuesday night jackpot, and we are fishing the WR Holloway, Pumpback, or Chimney Rock, depending on where you're from. Those are the 3 names. So that's the rig. Like I said, that's the 3. Actually, you can't even see it, but there it is. That's the setup, and that's it for the night. Gotta go work tomorrow. It's night. Sorry, 10:15. Thanks for stopping by. And maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. If you didn't, next time chime back in and throw a bunch of questions at me because it's like 2 hours worth of tackle rigging. We're talking tackle all the time. And I just answer a bunch of questions. So that's about it. All right, guys. See you guys on the next one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel. Help me out. We're trying to reach 30,000 subscribers as soon as possible, pretty much. All right. And don't forget to check out Tornado Innovations if you want one of the umbrella rigs I just showed. Promo code is YouTube 2022. You get $5 off your order. And anything over $75 is free shipping. So check it out. Maybe you might find something on the website that you might like. I feel like every year we're going to come up with a couple products. So if you're not watching this video in 2022, go ahead and check out the website anyways. I'm sure that promo code is still going to be valid. All right, guys. See y'all on the next one. See you guys out there. If you guys see me, come and talk to me. All right? Okay.